Hey y'all, this is Sean Browning, true historian. Today we're going to talk about the McKinley assassination, which happened on September 6, 1901. Now, William McKinley, our 25th President of the United States, was one of our great presidents. I'd probably put him around the top 10, and most historians would agree around there. William McKinley had done a lot of great things for this country. He was a Civil War hero. And he was a man that fought for the people. And a very popular president and a Republican. Now, during the turn of the century, around the turn of the century, we had globally an issue with anarchists who are terrorists, who went around different countries and planned and executed assassinations on different world leaders, notably around the time of McKinley's. Empress Elizabeth of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire was stabbed to death outside of Vienna. And the Italian king was also assassinated by an anarchist. But William McKinley specifically, through all their strength both domestically and internationally, had brought us out of a recession, of the 1893 recession, and into a period of great prosperity among the many reforms. However, the one guy, Leon Chauvinist, who was the son of Polish immigrants, and was unemployed from the sense of thing, who got involved with the anarchist network, decided that he was going to have a meeting, or decided he attended meetings, and after whatever, he decided he's going to come up with a plan to assassinate William McKinley. However, there's no record or anything that proves that he met or coincided or conspired with anybody inside the network, but that this guy was, crazy. However, he decided that he was going to do it. And in those days, the president's schedule was put in every paper and every detail. And then, like the two presidents who were assassinated before him, McKinley had zero to no police protection. Although for different visits, he would have local law enforcement that would follow around with him during his stay. They would mobilize the National Guard to help protect the buildings in which the president would meet with the people. So in the case of the Pan American exhibit in Buffalo, New York, which the president was supposed to go to around on the time and was enjoying, the World Expo, such was the case. The National Guard over in New York, they had a few people that manned the exits, the doors, and there was a detective next to, in plain clothes, there was a detective from the Buffalo Police who would be walking around and being a bodyguard for President McKinley. However, Mr. McKinley, during his meet and greet, that he said he wanted to meet the different people, he decided, he was going to shake hands with him. But yeah, they had no planning. And amongst the line, Leon Shogun got in line. And after different people shook President McKinley's hand, and on one case, a little girl. And President McKinley stooped down and he took the the flower pin off of his coat and handed it to the little girl. And then the next guy, Leon Schauble, who had his revolver hidden under a handkerchief because it was a hot September day, opened fire, point blank range, hitting the president in the abdomen. And the president stooped back. The mob tackled the shooter until the police could come and take him into custody. Meanwhile, the mob, who was really close to killing Leon Schauble, and probably would have succeeded, but were called out. They were called off by President McKinley, who told them, no, let the law handle him. And McKinley was rushed to the hospital, where 14 days later, after no recovery and whatever, Mr. McKinley succumbed to not only the injury from the shot, but the gangrene that had set in and killed Mr. McKinley. And the very famous Teddy Roosevelt became our president. And Leon Schauble would later, within about a month or so, be tried very quickly. And then soon after the trial ended and they found him guilty, he would be executed, or he was executed via the electric chair. And even later on, about a decade or so, a lot of the anarchists would be expelled from the country or deported through mass deportation around the time that about 1919, 1920, and that would fall under Woodrow Wilson, but in which he used the recently formed FBI, which was formed in 1908 to help conduct these mass deportations and other police forces. But the Secret Service, after McKinley was shot, finally got congressional approval to protect the president 24/7, and therefore sent Theodore Roosevelt, our 26th president, to this present day, have all had full around-the-clock full around-the-clock security at all times for the rest of their life. Now, Mr. McKinley, even though he did get a little overshadowed by Theodore Roosevelt, proved to be one of, if not consequential, but he was definitely one of our great presidents. I know we've had a lot. It's just some things he doesn't get all the credit that he probably should have. But I'm not taking away from Teddy Roosevelt at all by me saying that. But yeah, but that's all for today. For this video, I have to go to work here soon. Please hit the likes. Let me know what you guys think. And in the comments, if y'all think there's a subject that you guys would like me to talk about in one of the future videos, please let me know. Alright? Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day. God bless you.